Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm walking along the River Tyne, which is the famous river in Newcastle and gated. So I live on the gated side of the river, and then over the other side of the river there behind me, that's Newcastle, and the big river you see in the middle, that's the River Tyne. So for everyone, especially everyone from Taiwan who follows us, this is basically where I come from. I know a lot of you were asking about that when I first started, especially because of the accent. So now I'm on a walk. Basically you can walk from gated or Newcastle side, you can walk all the way down the river to the city centre, but I like to come this way so that I can stop off at a little cafe that I like and have a coffee and get a snack or get some breakfast. So I'll turn the camera around now and show you where I am walking. Now down here, this is called the Dunstan Staiths. So these things here, these are the staiths, and that's what give this place their name. If there's any seats, I'm going to stop off for a coffee, and then after I have a coffee and maybe it's just a snack or something, then I'm going to walk all the way down towards the swing bridge. Newcastle has lots of famous bridges. One of them is called the swing bridge. I'm going to walk down to that and cross over, and then I'll show you some famous sites in Newcastle, places I like to hang out when I was a kid and all that kind of stuff, and show you what Newcastle's like. So let's do it. This little coffee shop, when I lived at home with my man, this is where I used to stop and get a coffee. Wow, that's Kenny, mate. Unfortunately this little coffee shop is full that I like. When they first opened this coffee shop, I found it in a little magazine called The Crack. It was never busy, but my mum and dad said it's dead popular now, and you can never get a seat anymore, so I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to walk further down the river. So behind us here is the most famous bridge in Newcastle. This is the Tyne Bridge, and it's iconic with the area. So that is the most famous of all the bridges in Newcastle. This bridge I'm standing on is the swing bridge. When the boats come down the River Tyne, there's a time when the bridge can swing and separate and let the boats through. The side of the water I walked up on, that was gated. Now I'm walking over the swing bridge, and this side of the water will be Newcastle. In the area of Newcastle where you end up when you walk across the swing bridge, that's called the quayside, and it's a very popular area. Another look at the Tyne Bridge up there. Don't know if you can make it out in the background, but the other bridge is called the Millennium Bridge. And then over there to the right of the bridge, that is the Sage. In there they have a lot of music. Gated Sage. Up there is what remains of the castle. I don't know if you can make it out, like this area here. That's what remains of the castle. This is where the city got the name from. So this is overlooking the River Tyne. So from this part of the bridge in the corner here, you get a nice angle. That's the Tyne Bridge, the Millennium Bridge, gated Sage, and down the end there's a tall building. That one's the Baltic. Newcastle is famous for having a lot of bridges, but most of the others are just like a plain bridge, and the Tyne Bridge is the most iconic. That's why I've shown you that one. So the quayside where I'm standing now, I just come across the bridge, now I'm on the quayside, has some wonderful buildings, and this one across from me now, this is one of my favourites. I'm glad it's still here because I do believe some of these buildings are actually sinking and they've had to pull some of them down, or one or two of them down. And they've got a sign on the wall that says, from the above window on November 16th, 1772, they created the first Earl of Eldon and Lord Chancellor of England. So basically what I'm saying is this building has been here since 1772, at least, according to that sign. One thing I've really noticed in the last few years since coming back to Newcastle is there's a greater deal of Asian restaurants than ever before. When I lived here, they were mostly centred around Chinatown, but now you can find Asian restaurants all around the city. So I guess people in Newcastle are starting to eat Asian food more. That's just my guess. Obviously I haven't a clue, have I? So these little streets here leading up from the quayside, these are really iconic for photographers. People like to take photos here, especially this little archway, so you can see the architecture of Newcastle in general is fantastic. So Newcastle is extremely famous for its nightlife. If you like to party, Newcastle is a party city, which I did myself years and years ago. Now I don't party because I quit, but Newcastle is a party city, but also it's a student city. There's two universities here, Newcastle University and Northumbria, and as well as that there's lots of restaurants and shopping. Everything you want is in Newcastle. It's a great city to live in. It's just bloody cold. From here by the river you get a different view of the Tyne Bridge. Over there is the Sage, down the bottom there is the Millennium Bridge. So I'm going to move away because all these pigeons are everywhere. So I'm walking along the quayside now. Famous Tyne Bridge behind us, little taste of home. It's nice to walk around by the river. I don't know how people can live in a city with no water. Aye, little taste of home, eh? The street behind us now, this is called Grey Street, and this is one of the most beautiful streets not only in Newcastle but in all of England. And you don't realise how nice it is compared to other cities until you move away and see other places, and you realise not everywhere has architecture like this. So I think it's one of the reasons why when I like to go on holiday and that, I do love places with nice architecture. I guess it's just ingrained on us from living here. Not that I knew that. I just think that might be one of the reasons. That's a bus. That bus is a bit close. So I'm going to show you up here now because it's really nice. So here we go. So what you're looking at now, this is Grey Street. Right now I'm on a little side street off Grey Street, and this little cobbled street here, these in the road for my Taiwanese followers, if you don't know it. This is what a cobbled road looks like, and this little street, I used to come down here and go to all these trendy shops. It's got loads of trendy cool shops down here. So it's just off Grey Street. It's called High Bridge, and it's just like a little a lane, as you would say in Taiwan. I just wanted to quickly show you that, and now I'm gonna dash back to Grey Street because there's nothing I want down here. The building opposite us, this is the Theatre Royal, and it looks like they're showing Sleeping Beauty. That's there where you can go and watch theatre. In the building that hosts the theatre is a pretty impressive building, and this is also on Grey Street, as you can see. So where we are now, this is called the Monument. It's at the top of Grey Street. A lot of people like to meet at the Monument because it's an ideal place to meet, and it's where I would usually meet my friends when we went out in the evening for a bit of a party. So this is all what it looks like in Newcastle, where I spent all my youth partying and having a good time. Now I'm gonna go into the Granger Market, because when I lived here when I lived here, the Granger Market wasn't very good, but since I've come back, I believe the Granger Market is like a cool place where you can get like some scran and that, get some food in you, and it's really hip and cool. So I'm going to go and check it out. Hopefully it is. Let's see. And now I'm in the Granger Market. I'm going to have a look and see what there is to buy, to eat. Let's just have a look around. Bought sausage roll in the Granger Market. I think £3 something. I'll double check later and pop it on the screen, the real price. And it tastes bloody damn good, I'm telling you. Loads of sausage in that. This castle is where Newcastle gets its name from, and the Newcastle, which is now a scheduled ancient monument, and it's a grade 1 listed building, which means it can't be changed, moved or knocked down. So this building was founded in 1080, and it was built using earth and timber. This is the Black Gate. This is basically was the entrance to the castle. Just got to the entrance of Northumberland Street, Northumberland Street is, sorry, there's a road cleaner going by. Anyway, Northumberland Street is the main shopping street in Newcastle. Up this end of Northumberland Street by the Haymarket metro station, this is the university end. Two universities are down here, so that there is the metro station, and then there is Northumberland Street. Down there is Northumbria Uni, and then over this side is Newcastle University. This bar here, the Strawberry, this is the Newcastle supporters home bar. This is where I used to go on match days. Final stop before the ground, because Newcastle has loads of bars, but this was always my final stop before match days. Over from the Strawberry is St James's Park. This is the smaller end. When I go down Chinatown, I'll give you a better view of it. That's the east stand, the Gallagher End corner, and then over there is the Gallagher End. It is a better view of St James's. Look at it, man. Great, isn't it? I ended my day walking around in Chinatown. This is a place where I spend many hours eating after work, having the midnight snack there. And it was great to have a look around, just to see how much the area is evolving. There's a lot more options than when I lived there. So, as you can see in this video, the weather deteriorated badly, so I decided to go home. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and seeing where I'm from, and I'll see you next time.